Hello Prealgebra students, this is lesson 25 and our objective for today is how do you multiply and divide decimal numbers. Our last lesson we did addition and subtraction. Now we're going to do division and multiplication. Actually we're going to start with multiplication. And really we just multiply them pretty much exactly the same as we would any other number, except there's one trick we're going to have to do at the end with multiplication to find out what that actual number is. Okay, so let's just set up a nice multiplication problem here. I'm going to say 0.11 times 0.4. Now when we did addition and subtraction we had to line up the decimals, but with multiplication we don't have to. So let's just say 4 times 1, which is 4, 4 times 1, which is 4, 4 times 0, 0. All of them are going to be 0. So the answer is going to be 044. Now, what we need to do is we need to look up here and see how many places to the right of the decimal there are. So look at this first number. I notice that there's 2 decimal places. And on the second number, there's just 1. So there's 2 up here and there's 1 down here. So together, there's 3. So I'm going to move this decimal place over 1, 2, 3 places. So my answer is going to be 0.044. Okay, let's try another one like that. Hopefully we can figure this out. Remember, 1.2 squared, that means 1.2 times 1.2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 1.2 times 1.2. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, 0 to hold my place, 2, 1, add 4, 4, 1, and then on my first row, I have 1 decimal place. On my second row, I have 1 decimal place. 1 plus 1 is 2, so decimal place is right there, so I'll move it over 2 places. So my answer is going to be 1.44. Okay. Let's try another one. I have 3.25 times 10. So 0 times 5 is 0, 0, 0. 0 to pull the place value. 5, 2, 3. Add those up. 0, 5, 2, 3. Looking at this one, we have 2 decimal places. Looking at this one, I have no numbers to the right there, so it's going to be 0. 2 plus 0 is 2, so it's over 2 decimal places. So the answer is going to be 32.5, and I don't need to write that 0 afterwards, I can just write it like that. Alright, now let's do division, and notice right now with division, the first one we're trying, these numbers here are what we call whole numbers. This one's equal to 100, right? 10 times 10 is 100. And that's kind of a little bit easier one. We can just go ahead and just divide like we normally would. So we'll say 0.42 divided by 6. Now with these, you just write the decimal place above, and that's where the decimal place is going to be. So does 6 go into 0? Nope. Does 6 go into 4? Nope. Does 6 go into 42? Yes. 7 times. 7 times 7 is 42. Subtract 0. So my answer is going to be 0.7. So not really anything too much new with division when this last number is whole. Let's look at this one. 4.8 divided by 5 doesn't go into 4. Remember, put that decimal place up there. But it does go into 48. If it was 50, it'd go into it 10 times, so I guess it's going to be 9 times. It's going to be 45. Subtract 48 minus 45 is 3. Add on that 0. 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. There's nothing left over. So the answer is going to be 0.96. And And kind of like we mentioned earlier, this 10 squared means 10 times 10, which is just simply 100. So we're going to say 5.3 multiplied by 100. So it doesn't, we're going to put the decimal place right here. It doesn't go into 5, doesn't go into 53. So let's add on a 0 there. Does it go into 530? Yes, it goes in there 5 times. 5 times 100 is 500. We subtract and we get 30. Doesn't fit into 30, but if we add on a 0, it gets 300 and go into that 3 times 100 is 300, subtract, nothing as a remainder. So our answer is going to be 0.053. Now, notice here, our divisors, the numbers on the outside, are not whole numbers. They're decimal numbers. And so we're going to have to actually change those a little bit in order to be able to divide them. Because if we started to divide this, we would end up with this, right? 2.5 divided by 0.5. But it makes it really hard to divide if we start thinking about how many 0.5s can fit into 2, right? How many 0.5s can fit into 2? So what we do is we do a little trick and we say, I need to move this decimal place over one place to get this to be a whole number. And if I do it on the inside, if I do it on the outside, I must also do it on the inside. So my new decimal place will be there. So my new division problem will be 25 divided by 5. And hopefully you know that one. It's just going to be 5. 5 times 5 is 25. My remainder is going to be 0. So the answer of this is simply 5, because the decimal place was here. So decimal place would be right there. And we don't have to write 5.0. We can just write 5. Alright, let's do something similar over here. So we have 3 divided by 0.06. We need to move this decimal place over 2 places. It's right here. So we're going to move it over 2 places, adding in zeros. Put the decimal place up there. So my new division problem is going to be 300 divided by 6. And this place is right there. So 6 does not go into 30, but it does. Sorry, it doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 30 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. And then, since this place is here, I have to have a 0 there to hold that place value. So my answer is going to be 50. You don't have to say 50.0, you can just say 50. I hope you understand. If not, watch again. I'm sure you're going to do great on your homework. Your homework assignment is all 25s, all 24s, and then 13 more of your choice. Good luck.